In today's show, breaking news, Fidelity president just filed for a previously unknown Bitcoin fund. Now, this is massive as Fidelity is an asset giant which currently controls over $1 trillion in asset management. Now, check this out. The Bitcoin index fund will start at $100,000 minimum buy-in price, and this also signals Phase 5 of the infamous stock-to-flow model. I'll be breaking this down for you in today's show. Also in today's episode, this is a game changer. NASDAQ-listed company with $250 million into Bitcoin is basically a Bitcoin ETF. Shareholders have 15% Bitcoin exposure and 85% tech, no capital charges, so like a bank and pension funds with no SEC approval needed, just like an ETF. So it begins, again, another Phase 5 example from the infamous stock-to-flow, which I'll be breaking down for you here in today's show. As you can see right here, Microstrategy adopts Bitcoin as its primary Treasury reserve asset, and this is coming directly from the Microstrategy website. So besides this being a publicly traded company, purchasing over 21,000 Bitcoin, guess what? They now control 0.1% of the overall Bitcoin supply. We'll be discussing this in today's show. Also, in today's episode, stablecoin metric hints that the Bitcoin price will rise as buyers snap up Bitcoin. That's right. Check this out from Glassnode, the blockchain analytics firm. They wrote the current stablecoin supply ratio, known as the SSR, indicates a high buying power of stablecoins over Bitcoin and therefore an increased potential for an upwards movement of Bitcoin. The stablecoin supply ratio is 3 times stronger than it was when Bitcoin hit these price levels over a year ago. We'll be discussing this in today's show. Also in today's episode, we'll be taking a look at the overall crypto market. We can see Bitcoin down about 0.5% for the day, Ethereum barely in the green, most of the major altcoins in the red, but where's the Bitcoin price likely to go from here? Find out all this, plus so much more in today's show. Here at Crypto News Alerts, I drop a brand new episode every single day, so be sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And before we kick off today's show, if interested in tapping into OPM and leveraging other people's money to grow your wealth and crypto portfolio, smash the link right below this video in the description. And also, I just want to say I greatly appreciate your support. We just had a major milestone here today with the show crossing 100,000 podcast downloads. So once again, thanks for all the support on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, and on all the podcasting communities. I greatly appreciate you. All right, welcome back to another episode of Crypto News Alerts. Lots of bullish news to discuss today, but let's kick it off by diving into today's top story. Check this out. Fidelity president just filed for a previously unknown Bitcoin fund. That's right, as featured right here in Forbes, as well as Cointelegraph, entitled Latest Fidelity Filing outlines mainstream Bitcoin trading product. The mainstream finance continues piling into Bitcoin, which signifies Phase 5 of the infamous stock-to-flow model. Let's break it down, shall we? Fidelity has filed for Regulation D exemption with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, better known as the SEC, for a Bitcoin-based financial product known as the Wise Origin Bitcoin Index Fund. The product falls under the pooled investment fund category, according to the firm's Form D filing dated on August 26, 2020. Now pay close attention to this part. Entities can offer a financial security without the SEC stamp of registration approval as long as they file a Form D with the Commission, according to the information from the SEC's website, which is exactly what Fidelity did. Now, Peter Jubber, Fidelity's president, filed the Form D for the Bitcoin Index Fund, which touts a $100,000 minimum investment. Talk about massive institutional demand. You have to keep in mind that Fidelity controls and manages assets in excess of over $1 trillion. And now they're embracing Bitcoin, right? With a minimal of a $100,000 investment. This is a pretty big deal. The filing lists the product under a 506B federal exemption, allowing Fidelity to offer the product to as many accredited investors as it desires. Although only 35 finance-savvy non-accredited investors can participate, according to a different SEC website page. Now, under the 506B, Fidelity must also not advertise the product to the general public. Interesting, right? Several other details and parameters also exist. Now, over the course of 2020 thus far, Bitcoin has garnered institutional interest from a number of major players, including billionaire hedge fund founder Paul Tudor Jones, who invested 2% of his overall investment portfolio into Bitcoin, calling Bitcoin the fastest horse in the race. Now, this is a pretty big deal because we're talking about the sum of hundreds of millions of dollars. Then we have Microstrategy, which I'm going to break down a little later in the show, which purchased up over $250 million in Bitcoin and now control 0.1% of the overall Bitcoin supply. So this is a pretty big deal. Fidelity itself also recently labeled Bitcoin as inspirational store value. There you have it. Bitcoin is an aspirational store of value, according to Fidelity, one of the largest mutual funds in the United States, and it's enhancing its efforts in the Bitcoin and crypto space with its chief strategist, Peter Jubber, starting an institutional grade and high net worth clients focus BTC index, and taking a look at this recent tweet from Plan B of the infamous stock to flow model, who wrote, Phase 5, referring to Fidelity's president filing for this unknown Bitcoin fund. And this is where we witness massive institutional demand, which did not exist a year ago. You feel me? And checking out some of the responses to this tweet. Can we get a repost of the phases again, please? And Plan B wrote this original post he shared on his blog, Bitcoin stock to flow cross asset model. If you're not familiar with it, it predicts a $100,000 Bitcoin price in 1 year and an average of $288,000 per Bitcoin between the years 2020 and 2024. Stock to flow and stock to flow X, which is his new prediction model. Now, stock to flow has been the most accurate Bitcoin price prediction model in existence. That's why I love covering it right here in the show. Now, if you're not familiar with stock to flow, it's quite simple. The original Bitcoin stock to flow model is a formula based on monthly stock to flow and price data. And since the data points are indexed in the time order, it's a time series model. This model has activated quantitative analysts around the world, and many have verified the non-spurious relationship between stock to flow and the Bitcoin price. And we have asset management giants like Fidelity validating the infamous stock to flow model, which I covered in great detail on yesterday's episode, predicting a $1 million Bitcoin price by 2029, which is a pretty big deal. So here's the stock to flow graph. As we can see, this series of red dots. Now, if you're not familiar with stock to flow at all, I highly recommend reading this article, which I'll include in the show notes below the video. All right, and before we discuss this next game changer for Bitcoin, first let's take a look at the overall crypto market. We can see Bitcoin down about 0.5% for the day. We've been maintaining above that $11,200 support, currently trading at $11,331. Now, I'd love to see Bitcoin retest that 11.5 resistance and then turn that into support and then retest 12,000 resistance, flip that into support. Then I feel we're likely to move on up to 13,000 before breaking out to a range between the $15,000 to $17,000 range here in the short term. However, if we break below that 10,005 support, then we're likely to revisit those CME futures gaps, which are currently open at about that $9,700 level. However, fingers crossed, I hope we continue marching upwards. However, if we do break back down, BTFD, the perfect time to buy the dip and have another opportunity to stack some sats. We have Ethereum down 0.24%, trading at $382. Chainlink, one of the few cryptos actually in the green right now, up 0.5%, trading at $14.67. Let me know if you're bullish on the missing link of the blockchain. We have BNB barely in the green, up 1.3% for the day, trading at $22.53. And as you can see, a sea of red currently, from XRP to Tezos to Mist Litecoin to Cardano, Atom, Satoshi Vision, Bitcoin Cash, and the list goes on. And checking out some of the top exchange volume, we can see Binance down 25% for the day with 7.2 billion in volume. OKEX down 16% with 3 billion. We have Hobby Global down about 15% with 2.3 billion in volume, and BitMEX down 6% with 1.6 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. All right, now let's check this out. This is another tweet from Plan B here this morning. This is a game changer. NASDAQ listed company with 250 million Bitcoin purchase, that's a $250 million Bitcoin purchase, right, is basically a Bitcoin ETF. Now, obviously, this Microstrategy news is not new, but many of you probably did not know that this is basically an ETF, which makes this a very important big deal. Now, shareholders have 15% Bitcoin exposure and 85% tech, no capital charges, just like banks and pension funds, no SEC approval needed like an ETF. So it begins, again, referring to phase 5 in the infamous stock to flow model. And MicroStrategy actually posted this on their blog. In case you missed it, this was their press release. MicroStrategy adopts Bitcoin as their primary treasury reserve asset. Now, this is a major deal because this is a publicly traded company. I think Paul Tudor Jones started getting the ball rolling, that snowball effect, and now we have other major institutions following right behind, which is pretty fantastic to say the least. This is the largest independent publicly traded business intelligence company, which today announced it has purchased 21,454 Bitcoin. Obviously, this is on August 11th, just FYI. Bitcoin has an aggregate purchase price of $250 million, inclusive of fees and expenses. The purchase of Bitcoin crypto was made pursuant of the two prolonged capital allocation strategy previously announced by the company when it released its second quarter 2020 financial results on July 28th of 2020. And they go on to share in this press release, our investment in Bitcoin as part of our new capital allocation strategy, which seeks to maximize long-term value for our shareholders, says Michael J. Saylor, the CEO of Microstrategy Incorporated. The investment reflects our beliefs that Bitcoin, as the world's most widely adopted crypto, is a dependable store of value. You hear that? It's a dependable store of value and an attractive investment asset with more long-term appreciation potential than holding cash. I need to repeat that just because it's so deep. It's an attractive investment asset with more long-term appreciation potential than holding cash. You got that right. Now, since its inception over a decade ago, Bitcoin has emerged as a significant addition to the global financial system with characteristics that are useful for both individuals and institutions. MicroStrategy has recognized Bitcoin as a legitimate investment asset that can be superior to cash, and accordingly has made Bitcoin the principal holding in its treasury reserve strategy. So there you have it. It does not get any more bullish than that. We have a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ that just invested $250 million into Bitcoin, saying it's a legitimate investment asset that can be superior to cash. You want to know why they said that? Because Bitcoin is superior to cash, to say the least. It's the only asset with true scarcity in existence, whereas with fiat currency and corrupt central banking systems, they just continuously print more and more money, devaluing our precious money supply. And in this case, the dollar, it's doomed. You know what I mean? If they continuously print more and more, which they just printed more money in the previous 30 days than the history of the Federal Reserve combined, it's a sign of the times of exactly what's going to happen. We're going to have more major institutions like this embracing the king of all crypto. So that, my friend, is pretty freaking fantastic to say the least. And before we break down our next story of the day, stablecoin metric hints that the Bitcoin price will rise as buyers snap up Bitcoin. Let's first take a look at the overall crypto market cap, sitting at $356 billion with $92 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. And the current Bitcoin dominance is 59.1%. So it's back on the climb. And now taking a look at the top gainers within the top 100, we have CeeLo up 40%. Trading at $4.05. Serum up 24%, trading at $2.40. BZX Protocol up 22%, trading at 79 cents. UMA up 15%, trading at $7.70. Band Protocol, which is an Oracle competitor to the infamous Chainlink, is up 14%, trading at $13.50. Swipe up 9%, trading at $2.96. And Terra up 8%, trading at 50 cents. Below that, we have Yearn Finance, which flipped on the Bitcoin price, currently trading at $14,654, up 7% for the day. And Decentraland up 7.5%, trading at 9.2 cents. Out of this list of altcoins, which altcoins in particular are you most bullish on? Let me know in the comments right down below. And now checking out the biggest losers in the top 100 in the past 24 hours, we have Kusama down 11%, trading at $29. The Midas Touch Gold down 9%, trading at 2.2 cents. Cosmos down about 9%, trading at $7.48. Thorchain down 7%, trading at 83 cents. Golem down 7%, trading at 11 cents. ENJ, Engine Coin, down 6%, trading at 21 cents. I'm bullish on ENJ. Reserve Rights down 6%, trading at 2.5 cents. And below that, we have AVE in the decentralized finance space, down 6%, trading at 79 cents. And Theta as well, down 6%, trading at 47 cents. Once again, out of this list of altcoins, which altcoins in particular are you most bullish on? Let me know in the comments below. I'm bullish on Status. I'm bullish on Digibyte. There's many alts to be bullish on right now, right? Also, now taking a look at the BitMEX margins, we can see the bulls are finally back in control, but barely. It's almost dead even here as longs are leading 50.42% versus 49.58% shorts. Are you currently bullish or bearish on the king of all crypto? Let me know in the comments right down below. And now checking out the infamous crypto greed and fear index, one of my favorite indicators, shows we're currently rated a 75 in greed. Yesterday was a 76 in extreme greed, last week a 75, and last month a 76 in extreme greed. And if you're not familiar with the crypto greed and fear index, extreme fear can be a sign investors are too worried. That can be a great buying opportunity, aka BTFD, by the frickin' dip. And when investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. And like clockwork, when we're stuck in extreme greed, we tend to see a correction. And right now, I feel personally, we're witnessing a healthy correction. There's nothing to be too alarmed about unless we break below that $10,500 support, in which then we're more likely to fill those CME futures gaps about at that $9,700 level. All right, and before I break down our final story of the day with this stablecoin metric hinting that the Bitcoin price will rise as buyers snap up Bitcoin, first I want to remind you to smash that show more button right below this video in the description for a detailed analysis of what's going on in the market. This goes for all 500 plus videos right here on my channel. Also have some very helpful resources for you to plug into, including the blog to my podcast, which could be found at cryptonewsyes.com. Once again, we just surpassed 100,000 downloads, and I greatly appreciate your continued support. Also, be sure to smash that subscribe button right below this video in the description, or visit the direct link, which is cryptonewsalerts.net. You can also follow us on Twitter to receive daily crypto news alerts. My Twitter handle is cryptonewsyes. And for those of you active on Facebook, as I am, I do have a crypto Facebook group entitled Crypto Alchemy with over 17,000 cryptopreneurs just like yourself from all over the world. To become a part of it, simply click this link, request to join. I'll be sure to plug you in. And for those of you active on Telegram, as I am, I do have a crypto Telegram chat. To join it, click this link. You'll automatically be added, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you personally on the inside. All right, now let's break down our final story of the day, shall we? At 11,400, Bitcoin is ripe for a fresh price surge thanks to stablecoin investors buying up cheap coins. Data suggests, highlighting the latest readings from its stablecoin supply ratio, better known as the SSR metric, on August 26th. On-chain monitoring resource Glassnode forecast an upside for the Bitcoin/USD pair. Taking a look at their tweet, the current stablecoin supply ratio indicates a high buying power of stablecoins over Bitcoin, and therefore an increased potential for an upward movement of Bitcoin. The SSR is currently 3 times stronger than it was when Bitcoin hit these price levels over a year ago. So this is pretty bullish. As you can see, the SSR refers to the potential buying power of stablecoins over Bitcoin. A low Bitcoin price allows stablecoin owners, for example on exchanges, to purchase more of the Bitcoin supply. This demand pushes the price of Bitcoin up, given its predictable, verifiable supply and the high stock-to-flow ratio. Now, as the price increases, stablecoins, which remain priced the same in whichever fiat currency they're pegged to, can buy less of the Bitcoin supply. Now, the ability to enter a Bitcoin position is called buying power. Currently, that buying power is high, meaning stablecoin owners can purchase a comparatively large amount of the supply. So the SSR is 3 times stronger than it was when Bitcoin hit these price levels over a year ago, as I shared with you from that tweet from Glassnode. And in another tweet, the firm noted that the largest stablecoin, Tether, better known as USDT, was conspicuously primed to enter such positions. Taking a look at this tweet from Glassnode, further support comes from an increase in the USDT balance on exchanges over the past year, indicating indicating that stablecoins are waiting on the sidelines and ready to go. Let's go, as you can see right here in this chart. And then they went on to share number 3, for a detailed overview of the Bitcoin stablecoin supply ratio, please see our article on Glassnode Insights, which I'll include in the show notes below this video in the description for you to reference and check it out for yourself. So Tether holders are waiting to enter Bitcoin. What's going on? As Cointelegraph reported, Tether's market cap passed the landmark of $10 billion in July. In terms of the average daily transfer value, USDT beat both Bitcoin and PayPal this month. So there you have it. People are lined up ready to roll with their stablecoins to purchase some Bitcoin. Now, one reason for increasing the supply and therefore the market cap of a stablecoin is to allow investors who purchase other assets to cash out. As Glassnode explained in a blog post about the SSR last December, an increase in the Bitcoin price, for example, requires more stablecoins. The resulting lack of liquidity in the stablecoin supply makes it harder for investors in profitable positions to exit. The post summarizes, concluding, in order to compensate for the lack of buying power as Bitcoin price increases, new fiat money needs to flow into the market. An example, the supply of stablecoins needs to increase, and that's what we're witnessing right now. So if you're bullish on the Bitcoin price and you feel a lot of these stablecoins that are sitting on the sidelines are going to pour right back into crypto, as well as the king of all crypto, Bitcoin, let me know in the comments right down below. Also, let me know where you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to head by the end of next year. Do you agree with the infamous stock to flow model, which predicts a $100,000 Bitcoin price by next year? Do you believe that this year will retest that $20,000 all-time high, which we set back in December of 2017? Don't be a stranger. Don't be shy. Drop me a comment right down below. Well, that's going to conclude today's show. As always, I appreciate you tuning in and journeying along with me inside this incredible crypto matrix. If you gain value out of today's show, be sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And real quick before I go, if interested in tapping into OPM and leveraging other people's money to grow your wealth and crypto portfolio, be sure to smash that link right below the video in the description and register for this free system entitled OPM Wealth. You'll be glad you did, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's episode. Peace.